This week, we're going to show you the most organised Milwaukee Packout system. And for that, we're going to need a lot of Milwaukee Packouts. And I know just the guy. So
hi, Jonathan.
Thanks very much for having us. It's a bit of a beastie setup you've got here. How long does it take you to amass this collection?
Well, quite a while really, just building it up over time.
Can you show us the ones you've done already? I'd love to see which ones you've done. So we've got it all out on the table here, and to be fair, there's a lot more organised than I'd expected, to be honest, Dave. Do you want to talk us through it, like where it all started, or which one was your first one?
I got started with the Milwaukee Packout boxes with just some normal foam from another company.
So that was the first thing you did, was it?
That was one of the first ones that I did. It was this one and my original SDS.
Yeah.
But then I found the shadow foam and went from there. The SDS I redid at the weekend just because I bought myself a new SDS.
Yeah, and you've done a really nice job of that. I saw the video you did on this, and you did it in good time as well. And I like the fact you've kept these trays come with the Packouts, don't they?
They come with the Packouts,
so
yes.
Rather than getting rid of it, you've kind of got all your SDS bits in there, and it's really clever.
Yeah, because you need somewhere to store your bits.
I like this one too here with your lasers.
The box that the Milwaukee laser comes in is massive.
Right.
And it's not Packout, so can't click it onto the rest of the boxes. We've got the heat gun and the soldering iron. Just wanted to get them organised so that I know where they are for whenever I'm doing anything. I've got the 3 drawers foamed out, which is all just going to be for my 12-volt gear. At the moment I've got the drills in there, I have some more in there, and then I've just got the batteries at the moment in the bottom. And some people say it's a bit of an excess. It's just nice to have your shadow foam cutting kit.
Yeah, and you've got some long nose markers and a few other bits in there too, haven't you?
Yeah, so you know where stuff is, it's easy to hand.
Yeah, that's really cool. Right, so you've also got the Packout trolley as well, decked out with foam. Do you want to bring that over here and we'll have a quick look?
Yeah, sure.
This is pretty amazing. I love how you've set this up, and I think this is something that a lot of people will be impressed with. Right,
well, this is literally just set up for working in city centres when you've got to get around, or in offices. Got all my cordless gear in here. This is all my 12-volt gear, so I've got my multi-tool, we've got a bandsaw, batteries, a few accessories, full set of screwdriver bits, full set of drill bits, and an angle bit.
Yeah, that is a solid looking tray as well. That's like 30mm and 50mm together, isn't it, that you've got?
That was 250s that I cut down because I had to cut the back out.
Yeah, and you've still got a bit of space. I love how you've done this. What have you got here, about 30mm and 50mm, or 250mm that bring it up flush?
I think I've got 250s on that, yeah.
Yeah, that is really good. I've not seen anyone do that actually, and I didn't even know that that would work that perfectly. The fact that you've got the foam flush with that level there, which means that kind of full-size insert fits in there, and you've got a backer board on that as well, have you?
Yeah, just a piece of MDF. Cut to the shape.
I love that. You've fitted so much in that one box, and then you've still got the 2 boxes that go above it. So you've got like your whole cordless setup and hand tools, I guess, and everything.
Yeah,
else.
well, I don't necessarily have to have them. Obviously, with the Packout system, you can take anything you want.
Yeah, all on the cart. Is there anything that you've got left to cut that we can help you with?
I've got a double drawer that we could set up for my router and the bits for my router.
Brilliant. Okay, let's pull out those then, and then we'll have a look at what foam inserts we've got. Right, so we're going to start with organising this double drawer Milwaukee Packout box, and we're organising some router equipment in there. So we've got the M18 router, and I've got a few bits over here. What else have we got?
We've got a couple of radius profiles, 2 different base plates for the actual base, and basically a circle jig.
That's cool, nice one. And then all of the like bits and router bits and stuff are in this little tub,
yeah? Just anything really, router bits.
I think we're going to cut a liner each, yeah?
I'll cut this one, you cut that one?
Yeah, let's get started and I'll show you guys how we do it. Right, so I've got the rough layout of how everything's going to go, and I think first thing I'm going to cut in is this container here. I will tip the items out, because that way I can kind of put it sideways on, and I can cut around the profile, and I can make sure that we know how much space we've got for the rest of the items. So with this, it's quite simple. We've flipped it over so we don't get this parallax error. Now I'm going to move it up a little bit, just do a light trace cut around it. We're not cutting all the way through at this point. We're just using it like a pencil, just to show us where it's going. And then I can come back, put the knife back in that slit, and just press on the foam just to make sure you're following that previous cut you've made and not making a second line. And it's as simple as that. We're just going to cut all the way through. So there we go, we've gone all the way through there now. and that's the tub sitting nice and flush. That's perfect. So I'm going to show how to do a typical item like a small little flat spanner. All you have to do is place it where you want it to go, and then use the scalpel to just lightly trace around the item. It's just using it like a pencil essentially. And obviously these spanners are very shallow anyway, so naturally, you know, we're only cutting a few mil into the foam, and that's probably going to be enough. Once you've done that, you want to just push with your finger on the foam and just make sure that that cut has gone all the way around. And then after that, all you have to do is push your finger down the end and just peel the foam back. Now you're just tracing it along with your finger, you're just kind of ploughing out the material. And it's as simple as that for the smaller items. Now with a bigger item, let's say this router here, we're going to be cutting out more layers. So because you've got this round body here, you can get what is called a parallax error, where if that's the item, you've then got the scalpel, you know, you want to hold it square and get the exact profile, but a parallax error is if you're going off on a slight angle, even slightly. The goal is to just hold it 90 degrees to the foam and follow the profile, which I find relatively easy now after doing it for a while. So I'll just hold the scalpel to the item and just draw around it again like a pencil. We're not cutting very deep into the foam here. We're just looking to capture the silhouette of the item. And this way you don't end up with any black pen or anything that you've got to try and wipe off. So what we've done there is we've cut all the way around the item, and again we've gone back round, pressing on it with my finger, and I can see that the cuts have met up. So now all we want to do is cut a lot deeper. This is a 50mm liner, and we don't want to cut all the way through. We want to go down about 30 or 40mm. So I make a little mental note on the side of here. I could mark it with a pen, but I'm going to be cutting all the way down to about here, about 40mm into the foam, so we're not cutting all the way through, and we're just doing that all the way around. So when you cut all the way around it and you're quite happy that you've cut down deep enough, the same process for peeling it is exactly the same as the smaller items, except for this time you can dig your finger down a little bit deeper and you can get a bit more meat out of the foam. You can pull back rather than just a singular layer like this thin layer. You can dig your finger down and pull out a couple of layers at once. You don't have to go all the way in one hit, but you can see here we're pulling out 20mm worth of foam, so it's about 2 or 3 layers. And then before going for the next layer, you can then push on the foam again and just double check that you've gone all the way around. This is going to make sure you get the best finish. Then we'll go back and peel another layer out. You've got a pretty good technique going there for peeling out the foam. You're just kind of like slowly working it free, aren't you, all the way around, rather than trying to peel it back.
Brute force and ignorance.
That's it, that's it. So we've cut all of the material and we've still got a few lumps and bumps in the bottom, and rather than trying to pick these out with my fingernail, it's better to save your nails, save your fingers, and you can use some of our smoothing spinners. Now these are $6.99 for a pack, and what you get is a small and a large. They go into any drill, ideally an impact driver or a 1/4" bit driver, and you just clip the bit in there, and literally it's as simple as just placing the flat circle section on the base of the foam and then just slowly working it around, and you'll naturally cut into any raised areas and they will just literally lift out. You'll find that it naturally kind of cuts underneath any lumps and bumps and any raised areas, freeing them up, making them easier to peel out. You've got a nice big kind of wide open area here, which is ideal for the smoothing spinner. Get it smooth, Dave.
Right.
And that's it, that's all we need to do for that router, and it's sitting in there. We've got only about 10mm left of foam in the bottom. We've got plenty of room in the drawer above it, so that is perfect. So we'll crack on with the rest of these inserts, we'll get them all done, and then we'll come back to you. Right, so I finished up with this one, and I can see you've blasted through that first layer and you've just boxing up this 50mm layer here too. So the only thing left now is if we want to put some finger pulls in. Where do you reckon? Maybe something on here and something on these? Or?
A couple on the spanners.
Yeah, do you want one on here? Because I mean, it's quite easy.
You can pull that out quite easy, can't you?
Yeah, so just on the spanners then, yeah?
Yeah.
So when it comes to finger pulls, our stencil sets are now available on the website. These are $9.99, and essentially it's a pack of 3. Now if they do arrive, if you do buy these, they'll come like this, like translucent. Now that's because they have a backing film on them. This is just to protect them. So if you peel that off, they are actually clear. For something like this, we don't need too big of a finger pull. You're only putting the tip of one finger in here just to get that out. I think 25mm will be just the job. Maybe go a little bit bigger, maybe 28mm. So it'll just be a case of overlaying it in the middle of that spanner and just cutting a 20mm finger pull and then just pulling it out, and it just makes it that little bit easier to use this insert. Right, that about does it for this Milwaukee twin drawer case. I think you're nearly finished on that one. Let's chuck them in the drawers. Right, so that's the twin toolbox, all organised in foam, and I think it looks so dialed in when you've got these foam inserts, and we're talking about $24.99 for 2 50mm inserts in here. And how much is the box?
They're about £140 for the 2 drawer and around the same for the 3 drawer.
Yeah, so 140, 150 quid for one of these boxes, and 20 quid for the inserts can really upgrade it and make it even better and look even more dialed in. So we were working together on that, and it was no more than 10-15 minutes really, was it, to do those inserts. We've obviously both been doing it for a while, so it might take you a bit longer with your first attempt, but I think we've still got a bit of time, haven't we? Do you want to do the other 2 pack-out boxes?
Yep.
You've had these organised for a while, but we've got one organised with like a polyurethane foam.
Yep.
And then this one is...
This is the original Milwaukee foam, but it's actually for the slightly smaller box.
Time to upgrade them then, yeah?
Time to upgrade.
So we've bought some shadow foam inserts. These are the pack-out inserts that slot directly into this profile of a box. So 2 50mm layers or 2 50mm inserts are $24.99, or 2 30mm inserts is $19.99. And as I said, these slot directly into there. They're a perfectly flush fit. How did you go about cutting this to the right size?
Luck and judgment, really. A lot of it. Just...
It's a bit of a faff though, isn't it? Trying to get it fitting in there nice and flush.
Yes, it is.
I like what you've got here as well. You've got like these trays come with the pack-outs, don't they?
Yes.
These little cases. So do you reckon we stick with this exact layout, but we just upgrade it to shadow foam, yeah?
Yeah, if you can do, yes. Thank you.
Brilliant, let's get cracking. Right, so first thing to do is get my glove on and get my scalpel ready. And what we've got here is a 50mm and a 30mm liner. We're going to be cutting all the way through a 50mm liner, and then we're going to be gluing it to a 30mm liner, and that is going to be our first insert. We're going to replace this polyurethane layer. So if I take these 2 drills out and I'll pop them there, we can see that this polyurethane version, which is great, and actually it's where shadow foam started. You know, shadow foam's first product was a polyurethane foam, very similar to this. It's very soft though, and you can only cut all the way through it. So although you do end up with a better solution than pick and pluck foam, sadly it will absorb oil, it can get dusty and dirty, and you don't have the layers, so you don't have the flexibility. But what we can do with it is we can use it as a template to make sure that we get the new foam the right size. So we know we want to be to about there. And just like that, we now have a line of the depth of this, and we want to just do a little thin cut, which will give us the pencil line to follow, and then we'll go back a couple of times to cut all the way through, and then we can lay that one on top of the other layer, and the exact same again. I'm just going to cut all the way through that one, and that is our first part of the cutting done. So they're going to sit in there, and now we can cut our 2 drills in. And that is all we need to do there, but we don't throw away this offcut. We're going to need that in a little bit when we come to glue. So yeah, on to the next one. We're going to cut the exact same technique around this drill, cut all the way through, and then we can come back and glue it to the base layer. So let's just get that cut out. Right, so we've cut all the way around this drill again, and that is literally the majority of the work done. We've got the 2 shapes cut out for the 2 drills, for the combi drill and the impact driver, and they fit nice and snug in there. So all we need to do now is cut in finger pulls, if Dave wants them. and then also we need to glue the back on. So when it comes to gluing the back on, it's nice and easy. We just put the two shapes back in, we flip it over, and now these two inserts that we've just stuck back in work as masking tape essentially. So all we need to do is take one of our cans of spray adhesive. These are available on our website for $7.99, and all we want to do is give it a nice coating on one side, and then we want to put some on the other side and then let both sides go tacky. Now when it comes to sticking glue on the other side, we don't want glue on the underside of where the drills are going to be. So in order to avoid that, we just put glue in the areas that we can see. So you can see along these edges, this top corner here, and right in the middle. So we can just put a little bit of glue in the middle, a bit up this side, a bit up this side, a bit along the top corner, a bit in that corner, and a bit along the bottom. And that's enough. And we know now we're missing the two main areas where the drills are going to sit. So we can let that go tacky, and then we can stick those together in a few seconds.
12 seconds later.
So that finishes off. We put the two sides together, and that's our finished insert. Because we've got the two belt clips, we're not going to add finger pulls, but we can see there the two fit in there nice and snug, and then that'll go in the box. And we've got a nice snug fit. We can put the drill bit box back in its place, and that looks really, really good. And then the two drills, and that one is done. So we'll get the next one done, and then we'll show you the before and after. Right, so we've glued both parts together, we've stuck them together, and we've got now a completed insert. So we'll put it in the case. And that is a lovely snug fit. And then we've got the little tool case which goes on the left, which houses all the bits. And then yeah, we can put the jigsaw in and the multi-tool in. And that is the second one all done. So that's it. We've upgraded both of these cases. We had one that was the polyurethane grade, very similar to Shadow Foam original, and then one which was a Milwaukee insert, and we've upgraded them both to Shadow Foam. And Dave's back now, so here you go, Dave. What do you think?
Hiya. Yeah, they look great. A lot better than they were before.
So for these two, we're looking at a combined cost for both of these is $24.99 for the top two, and then the bases. So we're looking at about 40 quid for these two inserts, and it took me half an hour to cut both. And we've got a snug fit on everything, so nothing's going to get damaged. And yeah, we'll leave them with you.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah, smashing. So if you're a Milwaukee fan, or you like Milwaukee Tools and the Packout system, let us know in the comments below which box we should organise next. We've done the Milwaukee drawers now, and then now this is the classic Packout box, where we've now upgraded it to some Shadow Foam, but we know that there's loads of other Milwaukee Packout boxes, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. I read every single comment, so I'd like to hear what you think and which one we should do next. So if you're a Milwaukee fan, like Milwaukee Dave, because it's all things Milwaukee with you, isn't it? I know your tool set is mental.
Most of it, yes.
How do we find you, Dave?
Hi, yep, I'm on Instagram at Milwaukee Dave Tools. All the things that I've posted are my own work, my own tools. There's no reposts, and just a bit of fun stuff.
Yeah, and you love Milwaukee.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen your workshop. It's the Milwaukee fan's dream. So go and check out Dave on Instagram. We'll put his link in the description below. And if you've enjoyed the video, please drop us a like and subscribe. We'd love to have you on board, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, why not check out some of our others? We've got new videos coming out every week. And Colin Furs, what's the quickest way for people to see these videos?
Subscribe.